First order of the agenda is roll call, and I'll let Tammy Borf do that.
Chuck Childress.
Here.
Sean Russell.
Here.
Mayor Charles Wyatt.
Here.
Attorney Mark Phillips.
Present.
Mayor, you do have a quorum.
Okay. I wanted to remind everybody that this meeting is being recorded, and your participation in this meeting is your consent to be recorded and rebroadcast on the city's YouTube channel later. With that being said, those that'd like to join with me, the Pledge of Allegiance, please do so at this time. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First, you got it. We don't have none. Okay. On the agenda is mayor's updates. The only thing that I've got that came in this week is that on the 2026 community crossings application that we had applied for, we were denied. But we will reapply in July of 2026. Sarah got that the other day, so it looked like if you look at all the projects statewide, they did a lot of the smaller ones first instead of awarding a large project. So, citizens concerned, anybody that needs to speak, I need for them to sign in on the agenda sheet in front of you by the mic. If you've got something that you'd like to bring to the Board of Works, this is the time to be able to do that. Give you a minute to do it. And if you'd like to speak, stand up, state your name and your address, speak into the mic right there on the shelf there. Thank you.
John Hammer's Toy. I have a yard right down here, and we have a water problem. It's got a busted water line, and it's underneath the concrete. We had them come out and locate the lines underneath the sewer line, or the gas line, and the other lines underneath there. They marked them, and we started digging them, and they wasn't nowhere near they said they was at. They were like this. What we want to do is we want to go the same thing that y'all did for Muscle Motors, is my next door neighbor. We can dig from here to that wall and where the street where the water line is. If we got to do it the other way, I got to go from here clear across the street to the water line.
I don't have anybody here on the water department that's attending this meeting, which they should be, but they're not. This is the first I've heard of it, so. Yeah.
Well, I've had more than that building for several months now. I wasn't worried about it too much, but depends with what's going on with y'all, our towing now, y'all. We're going to move somebody up here and put 2 trucks in there. According to the contract, that's what I want to do.
Okay.
But I got to get water fixed.
Is the water line on your is the busted spot on your property?
Yes,
or?
but the water line actually goes out the back of the building and goes down about 10 feet, then it goes underneath that concrete. Right, Vinny? Vinny was there. This is my GM. He was there. He goes underneath the concrete towards the street, and I don't know if they poured that after the tanks was removed. I mean, I don't know.
They laid it next to a gas line, the main gas line.
Okay, I'm sorry, if you're going to talk, you need to state your name and address.
Say your name, Vinny.
Sorry.
She's the one that's got to do the minutes, so.
So you're wanting to run a water line, a different water line,
Yeah, I mean,
a
I'll
new
put
water
it-
line?
Yeah, I've got a mini. I'll take it where it comes out of the building, because there's nothing there from the street.
Okay.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
I dig it out from there, you go right to the street, like here to y'all, There's a water line.
Nobody's told you you can't run that. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, the problem we have is it's about 400 feet. You go down the fence line, across the property, and it actually goes under the concrete. And what we came up to, we dug our property out to the fence line, and where they said that the gas line was supposed to be like 8 feet away from the water, it's got our water line, it's a 1-inch line. There's a 4-inch gas line, they're 20 with it, depending on where you dig.
Yeah.
They're together, so as we're digging, we had to stop because we're getting ready to catch, no matter, and we followed it. And when you follow it on the fence line back to where it sources out here on 2nd Street, there's a marker for gas line, and they got it going like that, intertwining with our water line underneath there. So for us, what they did with those motors is, on the Division Street side, they actually had a water line there already, and they was able to tap into it and put a meter in for him. And he actually suggested it, because that's exactly within feet of our building. And from that point on, we could take it from that fence line over, but just have it where his meter's at, have our meter installed there where his meter is at, the same main,
Yeah.
and then we'll do the rest. We'll bring it out from there to our building.
Can you state your name so it's on here on the record?
I'm sorry, my name is Timothy Vincent.
I mean, somebody over down there tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we can do. I don't have a problem with it. As long as it doesn't violate an ordinance, I don't have an issue
Well, I
with any
think
of it.
that, and they need to make an application to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think,
They had told us, I called a few times on this, and we had to actually have a plan, submit it, I guess, to the board, request the Board of Works, and it was Viola had a contact, so I called a few times. And each time was a little more of the story what he needed to do, and this is where John, he said, let's take it to the source and find out what we need to do.
Drop the ball.
So, but it's just within feet, like I said, where there's a meter at now, literally, they did that for muscle motors. And it's more actually on the outside of our fence on our property side. So we'd have no problem doing the excavation where we have to do.
Well, if you're wondering why we waited till now, when I first came up here, we didn't have the volume of bids that we have now.
Yeah.
In Boonville. The volume of business here and out in Morris County is really blossomed. So I gotta do something.
so, yeah. So somebody from Veolia needs to go and make an inspection promptly.
Yeah.
Contact them.
Yeah, and you need to, who should, I don't know who they should ask for. Any ideas?
Jill.
Who?
I would say Jill.
I think Jill and Danny. Danny knows where all that stuff's at.
Okay, and then they should be able to then inspect the area you're talking about and then have you submit a plan for approval by the city. And that can be pretty quick. But they need to, we need to know what they recommend, and it may be very well what you recommend, but we need to, that connection has to be made. And I would suggest if you don't get a response promptly, to call back and ask for Heather. Is she here this week?
Yeah.
Ask for Heather, and then we will assist you in getting a prompt response.
Okay,
All
yeah.
right.
Does that make sense?
If you can, I mean, it's gonna be 40 tomorrow, be a good day to get them down there.
Yeah.
Good luck, but yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to call the water, anybody, or?
Call Jill Carr. Do we have a number?
812
That's
897
why I'm texting.
2118.
And his name is Joe?
Jill.
It's
Jill,
her,
it's a female, Jill.
Okay,
Carr, C-A-R-R.
okay. And what she needs to do is send two employees from the waterworks, I guess.
Yeah,
down there to
she'll probably come.
See where our problem, they can actually visually see our problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
The gas line is the problem.
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we can't,
That's the problem.
yeah, we'll have to get.
When we stopped digging with that, they was like this and
Hell, we don't know what or the private homeowner, or the owner did, years ago. We don't,
we're not even sure, Mayor, that the water line even, it comes in the back of the building.
uh-huh.
I'm not so sure that's even where it come in, because there's deals in that, because that's an old building. And it looks like it came in the front of the building is where it came from. And it looks like that all this was done when they took the tanks out of it, and they blacktop and concrete it.
Well, one of the reasons is the pipe, you wouldn't run 8-foot sections. But you would bury 8-foot sections. You'd have 1,000-foot roll or whatever, a poly or something. you know, section 8 foot, because you're creating 2 leaks for each piece of pipe.
Yeah.
You know, by gluing them like, yeah, so somebody's come along and done this somewhere down the line, who knows where.
I was in high school and they redid it because it got blowed up.
Perfect time.
Gas heater blew it up, so they had to remodel it. So, that's been a year or
That's a long
two,
time
a
ago.
long time ago. Thank you, Mr. Attorney,
Just legal, that's legal opinion,
Legal.
Your Honor.
So is that all we need to do today?
yes, sir.
That'll be it.
Are we excused?
You
Yes,
can
sir.
go.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all.
Oh, they have.
Thank you all.
See you guys.
The contract.
Thank you.
Anybody else had any other citizens' concerns?
Did you,
Ryan Nix, Nix Sanitary Service, 713 South Second Street. I got some papers here I can give everybody, and this might help bring everybody up to speed as to what we have going on.
Ryan, did you sign in?
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
I'm kind of jumping around here, but where you dump is being,
Yeah, I was just giving everybody a second there to read over that. The first page was the letter that we received from Evansville. The second and third page are simply examples of when we were dumping in Chandler of our volume. I just grabbed a couple of random ones. I think one was January, which were slow. Then, well, January 25, and well, February of 25, we were slow. Anyway, you know, we've been located here in Boonville for just about forever. I know pretty much about everybody here. I think the letter sums up that Evansville is going to bring the dumping down there to a halt, and we're not going to be able to dump there anymore. They have extended to us, if we would relocate to Evansville, that they will let us put in a sewer tap, and we will dump straight in their system. Now, you know, we've been here in Boonville forever. Didn't ever really plan on leaving the town. It's not anything that we want to do. Mount Vernon has extended us dump privileges there. Petersburg has, Ferdinand has, Jasper has. We've got a lot of other small towns that will allow us to dump, but these other ones, they just don't make economic sense to haul there. And if we're forced to do that, unfortunately, everybody knows we'll have to raise rates. That's just how business works. So, you know, I think I had this discussion up here before. It seemed like it was a capacity. I've talked to several of the operators, and that was the plant operators, and that was the reasons I gave copies of previous bills with gallons, that our volume is not even a scratch of the surface of what goes through a plant on a daily anyway. So I'm just bringing this forward to see if, you know, the municipality will try to take care of the local businesses. I mean, we try to do as much as we can here in Boonville. You know, as far as donations and all that, that's just part of how businesses help each other here. So just kind of reaching out here to see what Boonville.
well, we've had this discussion different times, and I know that, and Veolia is not here, they didn't want it at the time. But, and Mark, I don't know if you were I had a conversation with, about 3 weeks ago with the designers for our new sewer wastewater system, our new plant. And I raised that issue about being able to possibly take this business. So that was something that's brought up, and, you know, I'm interested in trying to make sure if we can make that happen, as long as it's not a detriment to anything that we've got going. So, and we too also like to look after our businesses, and I think our record showed that we have in the last several years, especially with the COVID. About $835,000 worth of grant money we've distributed to our local businesses. But with that being said, we were looking at trying to help maybe get this business. Now, the design of the plant is probably 20% at the most complete right now. I'm wanting to say it'd be probably, and is it 2 years, 2.5 years before construction on the plant? That's what I think it will be. Now, it might be quicker than that. So, but we are willing to look at and I'm glad we got these figures now, the volume and everything, and that would help.
Can I ask some questions? And I wasn't involved in, which is, I just simply say I'm pretty much, but if I look at, Ryan, the letter you gave us, there are two dumping sites, as I read this.
At Evansville.
Well, no. Well, I don't know. When it says our private development team is available to assist with design questions permitting for your private dumping station for domestic septic waste, and then EWSU has no present plans to construct a new hauled waste receiving station. However, they would help you develop or build one. Can you explain that more for my benefit?
Yes, if we buy property in Evansville, they've sent out basically how they would put in a metering pump to measure what we put into their system. I mean, we could buy on the east side, west side, wherever, and that they would work with us to install, to design and install a receiving site on our property.
But would that be only for the fats, oils, and grease, or would it be for everything?
I can't answer to the fat, oil, and grease. That's a different thing. If you go to Evansville and empty your truck, if you have grease, you go over here. If you have septic, you go over here. All we've ever hauled is septic.
Okay.
So the fats, oil, and grease is not anything that I'm interested in.
Okay, so, all right, so, okay.
Yeah, fats, oil, and grease is,
A different dynamic.
that's a whole other animal.
Right, okay. So I understand, if I may, Mayor, you would be, but they're talking about a private dumping station that would be metered for volume use, as opposed to you going somewhere else to dump it in a more generalized location.
Yeah, they have a site that every company goes to.
Okay.
And it is a metered site. You hook on it, measures how much you're putting into their system. You enter your code, and that's how you're billed accordingly. Billed per gallon.
But do I understand that they may be interested in allowing you to build an on-site station?
No, this would be on your property that you have purchased.
Okay.
There's not gonna be anything allowed on their site.
No, that's what I mean, though. Here in the city of Boonville, you would put a private station on your property that would be metered, and then it would deliver it to the disposal, or to the treatment facility. Is that right?
Now we're basically asking for permission to dump here in Boonville, not expecting anything at our property. When they initially built the new sewer plant out here, they had us bring our truck out there, and there is a spot designed for a truck.
Okay, so that's already there. It's
That's
just a matter
already here.
of whether they'll accept it or not.
Correct. They originally built it, had us bring a truck, and were going to let us dump. And then, for whatever reason, we were never allowed permission to dump at the site here. This on-site is Evansville's proposal to the septic haulers. Do they want us to move to Boonville, or want us to move to Evansville? That's what it seems like. They want us to buy property that has a Evansville sewer line in front of it to keep dumping there.
Mark, I got a question for you. Just say that we was to allow this, we've already got the hookup and stuff like that there, and say we was to allow this. Can you limit it to where, because, like, for example, when I'm looking at 3,000 gallons a month, I went up there and asked, my house averages 6 to 7,000.
Oh, no, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, my own house is way over this.
It is
But-
not a volume prohibitive.
Correct, but at the same time, I can get to where, I understand where you don't want 30 people bringing 3 to 5,000 gallons a month there.
Right.
Can you limit it to Boonville businesses, or you have to be on Boonville water, or?
That's per day. 3,000 gallons per day.
This what it is? That's per day?
12.3,
No,
12.3.
those were days that we drove in with the truck and emptied the truck. So
Okay.
that was just that day
It's 2,500.
from
okay.
somebody's house, a septic tank, we drove in and
Gotcha, thank you, Jim.
I mean, I get, so Brian, let me say it, let me answer in two ways. One, I think we need to understand why it appears that the plant was designed to receive it, and for some reason it's not. That didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And then secondly, what our capacity limitations are, and whether that is something that is an issue or not. And then third, based on the answer to the second question, would then, Sean, address your question as to who would have access, because that system is designed to treat waste within our system. It is not set up, at least the way I understand it currently, to be a depository for people not on our system. Now, it doesn't mean that can't happen, but I think it would really depend on what kind of capacity limitation there would be if that were offered, and if so, what that threshold would look like.
Was there any testing or anything that you have to,
it doesn't matter which site we go to,
okay?
you are required, we drive up, we have a truckload, we give a sample, so they know what you're bringing.
Yeah.
That links back to the grease. Grease going into the septic side of the plant is bad news.
Oh, right.
So you give a sample. Yes. You fill out where it came from. This come from Joe Blow on 123 3rd Street or wherever. You log the sample and where it came from on a manifest. So everything that's brought is documented, and that's per item. That's item in the Department of Environment. That's policy. So everything's tracked where it goes and come from. Back to your statement on somebody, whether it's coming from somebody on our system, as you termed it, it might be somebody not on your sewer system if it's a rural.
Yeah,
house.
and the only reason I offer that thought is that it's not that it can't be, but we don't have any, well, I say this, we don't think we have anybody that's on our system that we don't know about. So everything is built on what we charge based on where you live, and that's really it. And if we can identify a capacity amount, there's no reason why it couldn't be treated and paid for with somebody who's not on our system, such that it doesn't affect the capacity limitations we would otherwise have.
So the questions have been asked, how can we do this, okay? With talking with our engineering, the people that are designing the plant. I mean, I would go back to them and ask them, hey, can we make this a reality? And, but it looks like you're gonna get cut off in January 1?
Yeah, that's,
I don't think I can do it that quick.
here's what happened, long story short. I got a call from, you'll say competitors, but we all know each other, from TSF in Evansville.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, this was Matt, he goes, hey Ryan, what are you guys gonna do about Evansville shutting down? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, he explained to me that they're shutting down. He gave me phone numbers, so I called Ashley Pike, I'm actually gonna talk some more with her tomorrow about how is this happening. Come to find out, this has been going on since April. They've been having meetings. And I asked her how come we wasn't notified. They had sent all the information to our old, don't laugh about it, AOL email account. And I asked her, I was like, you guys send us a bill every month on our Gmail account. We haven't had AOL in forever. So I politely asked her, you know, everybody else has had 8 months to prep for this since April. We now have a month. Can you extend just us the same length of time that everybody else has? And she's supposed to be getting back with me on that.
Ryan, let me ask you the question, Mayor. So let me ask it this way, maybe this is a dumb question. Do the local, each plant that's in a different locale, I'm assuming the rates are different?
Yes.
And so you choose to dump where it is most cost effective for you?
Not, well, I guess yes could be the answer to that. And the only reason I say yes is, John Henry calls from Jasper.
Uh-huh.
Hey, can you guys pump this? Well, we have different pricing for farther away you go.
Right.
Okay, now we're in Jasper. Jasper lets us dump.
So you can just dump it right
It
there.
only makes sense,
Yeah.
irregardless of to haul that much weight back, you're burning fuel.
So you can stage it based on access to a.
Where we're at, if we're in Petersburg, you know, we'll all
So-
there.
So let me ask you this then, and then, so then all your competitors, I'm assuming you all know where you can dump.
Sure, yes.
Okay. So really, what you're asking is, not only for you, but for any qualified, licensed hauler.
We're only asking for us.
No, I want to, no, I understand that.
Okay.
But here's where I'm just thinking out loud.
Okay.
If we make it available for you, I don't know how we could very well say to somebody else who has a similar dilemma, hey, we want to be able to dump. The first question is, can we take it? And the second question is, as I said earlier, what kind of capacity limitations, if any, would we have? And then thirdly, assuming there are none, then we would have to determine what the rate would be to charge to do that. So,
Not to cut you off, but according to this letter here from Evansville, if we were located in Evansville, we could dump in Evansville.
I can't answer.
So if, this is what I'm asking, since we're located in Boonville, can we dump in Boonville?
well, no,
Is that what you're going?
no, and maybe I'm not communicating very well.
Okay, okay.
I don't know how we could limit or prevent somebody other than you from dumping at our plant if it's accessible and achievable. You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. Let's say a company in Evansville wants to haul to Boonville.
Yeah.
Is your business located in Boonville? You're asking how you could tell them no. Is that what you're asking?
Well, I guess, and I don't want to get into a debate here because I don't know enough about this to be
Sure.
be smart about it.
Well, Evansville is basically telling us, we're not going to accept any more waste from you unless,
Because you're outside of Evansville.
Yes.
I missed that.
because we're not there.
That's not what this says. That's not what this letter says. Now, that may be what they're telling you,
Uh-huh.
but that's not what this is saying.
We can't really figure out anything until.
Well, what-
Regardless.
Yeah, what I'm getting from this letter is that it just, you know, from this letter and what Ryan's saying is that basically they're saying you can't show up at one of their sites, that nobody can show up there and dump at them, but you can have this put in on your property
Correct.
to meter what's going into the system. That they're not gonna allow anyone to dump at their station, but you can make your own station.
If you're a property owner in.
Yes,
Evansville.
in Evansville.
So then to answer your question, if they think they can do it, then my supposition is we can too.
Yeah.
That, again, without knowing anything more about it, I didn't really read it that way, but I understand what you're saying now. Why would we give them an opportunity as a non-resident vendor that they aren't giving you?
Yeah.
I get that.
Ryan, I'll take this and I'll see where where I can run with it, okay? On timing and whatever, or if we could do it now, or let me just ask some questions.
May I ask another question?
Go ahead, sir.
So how, again, just for our purpose, how long does it take to drain or to dump a load or a truck? I mean, is this an hour? Is it
No.
15 minutes?
Our truck, the trucks that we're going to now, we have two of them now. They're twins. They're 4,000 gallon. Boonville is set up exactly the way all the people have set up now. You have a 4-inch hookup on the building. You hook your truck to the building. It goes through what's called a muffin monster. It breaks up any solids, so to
right.
speak.
Right.
So there is a variable there if we pump a tank that they're regular and every 3 to 4 years, the truck might unload in 20 minutes. If we pump somebody's septic tank that's been 30 years, obviously, it's going to be thicker. It might take 30 minutes.
Okay, but you're not talking about tying up, I mean, you're talking about less than an hour,
Yes.
in the worst case scenario.
Yes.
And is that always an 8 to 5 time frame as far as unloading? Or do
You mean for
do-
the hours of the plant?
Yeah.
Yes, they all have hours. They all send us their holiday schedule for when they're going to be closed.
Okay.
There has been situations where it's different, and just to give you a quick example, and it's one of the reasons that Petersburg has opened up to letting us dump. Petersburg was in a bind. They were having issues at their plant. They needed a truck there and pumping all day, blah, blah, blah. We pumped into the hours. We're hauling from one plant to another plant. So it does vary. Like, if, say the city of Boonville had an issue and needed us to come pump,
Yeah.
or Chandler, for example, they'll open their plant up to us. But yes, there is a hard set, 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever, with holidays, to answer your question.
And then, may I ask another, Mayor? It appears that Chandler charges 3 cents a gallon.
Correct.
Is that customary?
I think Evansville might be 5 cents a gallon.
Okay.
The plants run, obviously, just like a business, let's say. If they went through 2 or 3 grinder pumps that year, they would adjust the cost to cover, obviously it can't lose money, to cover the cost of operation for that specific
Event.
section.
Sure.
Yeah, like I said, the city of Boonville doesn't want to run any business away. We've been encouraging it and want to continue to encourage it. And again, I'll run with this and I'll try to find something out, and we'll meet again here in 2 weeks.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, you're good today.
Well, I'm sorry.
I could stand here all night.
Well, no,
Yes.
the other question I have is, does Evansville have a schedule of rates that they publish? Or are you subject to whatever the per gallon charge is at the time you go to the plant?
Once
In
they
other words, is it-
establish a rate, it's not like a gallon of gas and fluctuates
Okay.
daily.
You don't
It's-
know if they've done it by ordinance or, well, it would have to be done by ordinance, now that I think about it. Okay.
Once they establish a rate, it might change next year.
Okay.
Or whenever they do their annual budget, and I'm sure they sit down and, say, okay, we consume this much of the budget. You see what I'm saying?
I do, then, my mayor, I lied, I have one more. In a given month, a busy month for you, how many gallons do you think you would anticipate dumping here?
You mean in a given month, what's the max, or are you talking daily?
That would be daily, I think we would want to know.
Well, if you're gonna be under 4,000 gallons, right, in one trip.
In one trip.
Okay?
Probably.
And would you make 2 trips in a day or mostly just once?
How much?
Probably 3 trips, 12,000. And that's time limited, you say you're pumping a septic tank for a guy in Yankeetown, now you
Right.
gotta go to Linville, it's,
But you don't anticipate, if I may, Chuck, you don't anticipate having more than 3 capacity loads a day?
it could be 4.
I get
mean,
it.
But
We're not-
normally it would probably be 3.
3 to 4,
Okay.
I mean.
I'm assuming though, we can look at the Chandler and have a pretty good idea, because I'm guessing you're not driving past Chandler from Boonville to go to Evansville, now, are you?
Oh, like Chandler right now, they're ordering parts for theirs to fix, they're waiting to get back with us, they're closed right now, we can't dump
Gotcha.
it there. So, that's just some of the factors that determine where we go to dump.
Sure, and I was just kind of going off of your old Chandler invoices, and that being that you're probably not collecting in Boonville whenever Chandler's operational and driving through Chandler to dump someplace else.
100%, yes, yes.
So this is a good gauge right here.
Yes,
Of the
yes.
past.
Can I ask you one more question, Ryan?
Sure.
Have they given you any information about what a private dumping station for domestic septic waste would look like? This letter refers to assisting in the design and permitting for your private dumping station. Have they given you anything about what that would look like, of what they would consider?
Evansville has almost implemented this so fast, they don't even know what
Okay.
they're doing yet.
Because if you could get stuff like that, that would help us too.
Yeah.
Because it may be a situation, I don't know this, where that becomes a better option for the city.
He needs to
Say-
come, he needs to come up here and talk, he's gonna
Yeah.
speak.
You gotta go up there to the microphone.
Sorry.
Our competitor TSF, he sent me,
But she
well,
said he can't say.
Ashley Pike has also sent it. It is the crudest and the roughest little sketch that they've come up with, and they don't even know how to permit it yet. It's
So that's a longer-term option, if it's even an option.
correct.
Okay.
They're having a meeting right now at 3 o'clock down there, and
Okay.
that's where my son and some of our other ones are down there at that meeting.
Gotcha.
So we're still,
I want to just kind of ask something, and I'm going to ask this out of complete ignorance because I don't know, and that is that if there's a way that the customer themselves, with approval from the city, can install it on their own property and it be metered and everything, and Ryan had already talked about the documentation process that goes along with these trucks and stuff. Wouldn't that be the ideal economical way to do it? They hook up right there on their own property and just get it taken care of, rather than tying up a spot at the wastewater plant for a half hour?
That's why we're paying these engineers, so we'll
Yeah, I
find
mean,
out.
I think it would decide, my initial thought would be line size would be an issue,
Yeah,
commercial versus residential.
yeah.
And secondly, do we get into a situation on a high volume basis that you're suggesting where we have the same issues we have with water breaks?
Gotcha. And I was just thinking, if it was on property, where we would not
You know what I'm
control it,
saying?
we would actually have more control of it, because
you mentioning line size, that is one of the things at the bottom of their rough sketch, is that it would have to have an 8-inch main,
8-inch?
8-inch main.
So what we're looking at now is, can we temporarily at least let them hook up out here?
Mayor, I
We have the
would,
capacity, which we'll have to talk to Viola about.
I would,
we
I
still got another
would,
meeting before now, the first of the year too.
I would suggest that you entertain a motion directing Veolia to let the city know what their capabilities are, what their capacities are, and whether there are any existing plant limitations that would prohibit this from being achieved.
Yeah, and
And
maybe it would be where you could only dump 2 trucks on certain days or something, I don't know, but we'll have to ask them, tell us what's going on at the plant before we can tell you what we can do.
But I would entertain a motion directing Veolia to get that information to the board immediately, given Ryan's January 1.
Deadline.
I apologize for this being so short. We were caught off guard
Is what it
ourselves.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Like I
letter's
said, we
dated
meet
November
2
21st.
weeks, so
again here in
16.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks, the Board of Works meet,
Okay.
unless there's a conflict. Anything else, Ryan, to ask us?
No, that is it. I appreciate the time.
I'll make the motion that we direct Viola to get us those numbers.
Second that motion?
And-
Quickly.
If I can help. And
Yes.
such that it can be addressed considered and addressed prior to our next meeting of whatever you said it was, December 16th.
I'll make that motion.
Second that motion.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, second signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Thank you.
Can I ask one other suggestion to Ryan? Hey, Ryan,
Yes.
can you give somebody, Tammy or somebody here, your contact information so
Is
that
it on,
that,
did you put your phone number?
is that on there?
I will put it up.
Perfect,
That way we'll have it.
perfect.
And then I'll get that motion from you and we'll send that to Veolia. Thank you.
Just hate to see any business leave.
Any other citizens' concerns? Not moving on, to old business. Nothing on the Gimlish water line, update on South Third Street. I think it's pretty evident what's going on, but Mark, you got anything to add?
Yeah, so very quickly, the decision was made to not have Eigner Construction begin the demolition, finish the demolition of the building at 215 until the demolition was completed on the other two structures. And there, I don't really want to get into on the record all the reasoning, but the primary basis was, one, it didn't make sense to have the demolition occurring from the outside in. And secondly, because of the suggestion that there were some things done improperly, it didn't make sense to us that we would have him finish before they started and then create other opportunities for finger pointing.
Yeah.
So as it turns out, his lawyer was going to recommend that they wait until it was finished. If they had decided to hire Eigner and Eigner was going to do it, that would have made it a little easier, but it didn't make a lot of sense to create more opportunity for accusations as to damage and causation. So as soon as they are done, it's my belief that Eigner Construction will finish at 215.
I had got a text the other day, I'm trying to think the insurance company, what's their demo company, is that Parker? I think they were saying that, hey, they'd done everything they needed to do, Eigner needed to take a wall down over there. I went and
don't know
took
that.
pictures, I got it to Sarah. Sarah was dealing with the attorneys on that the other day. She was sending photos, because there was, I believe that she had said that there was a danger with that wall being up. Well, that wall is a pile of rubble sitting there right now. So she was following up on that with the attorneys, because I gave her all the pictures and everything the other day. So that's the update that I've got.
And I want to say that, whenever we made the moves we made a few meetings ago, the idea was to get that road back open, and we're on a good path to.
Good path.
Yep.
So,
All right, next, new business, disbursement request, pay app, Boonville Pool number 3, $1,512,332.51.
And Clint did review it.
okay, that's what I was getting ready to ask. I didn't see a signature anywhere.
Yeah.
All right, so that Chuck has a good night tonight. I hate to put this one on him. I'll make a motion to approve pay app request, number 3 for Boonville Pool for $1,512,332.51.
A second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, second, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Let me do a little paperwork here.
You're next.
Next on the agenda, parade closing, is that,
I got it right here.
Tammy's got that for the Boonville Christmas Parade. I think Donna is ill today, so Tammy is filling in here.
So I passed, excuse me, I passed out the map. And this is not for the parade route, this is for the Christmas in Boone Village. So the parade route has been already taken care of. So she is requesting that West Sycamore Street be shut down at the corners of North Second, both at the intersection right there. And then right past Harold Gunn Pavilion, not to First Street, but right past Harold Gunn, so that the carriage rides can go in and out of there, that there's no traffic that comes down that way. Then also across by the Elks, and then leave open the path where Boonville Federal and all the other traffic can cut through, I guess going maybe west? Would that be right, Brandon? East? Okay, going east. And then shut it down right past where the North Pole is, across Third Street, so the wiggle train can go through there. So I don't know how we want to.
But part of that's kind of like what they do for the car show, isn't it, on,
Yeah, Sycamore is.
yeah.
You have not third though, is it?
No.
Now, Third's new, we didn't do that last year, but,
Well, you wanted to, and I didn't like the safety issues.
yeah.
Don't like it either.
You got,
Brandon, I'm defaulting to you. I don't deal with this.
I don't like Third Street, it's still, with vehicles,
There's too,
and you never know, you get, still get, every once in a while, you get semi down there.
How much added traffic is that
How much
going around the block
traffic,
just
yeah,
to
and
get right back
yeah.
on Third?
Inflate
can't.
a lot. I didn't like it last year either.
because there's nowhere
Get
for
out
them.
there, you get a vehicle coming through, you don't know if someone's intoxicated or not, and plowing through that on Third Street. I mean, it's not it's a main airway out of Side Street.
What else is gonna be going on Sycamore? I mean, I see a food truck
Probably the
there.
same,
There'll be food trucks.
And then there's a North Pole there, which has good access in and out onto Sycamore. Could they not do the wiggle train right there on Sycamore also?
Well, not with the food trucks there.
Okay, I wasn't sure how many was gonna
I
be
think
there or
there's
how far. or
3
something
of them
like that.
maybe, or,
Could they do it on Second Street?
that might be another option to do on Second Street, I like that better. The Third Street I just got safety concerns.
so where would you shut it?
They could shut Second Street
So he could
down
come,
at,
they could come out the North Pole on
At
Sycamore.
out.
the entrance on Harold Pavilion parking lot, right?
over in
Just to
that
the
area.
South of that on Second Street.
Just go north on north on Second from Sycamore or Harold Young, either one, yeah.
You know what?
If the North Pole's being blocked off, can that parking lot be used? Or is people?
It's on
allowed to-
inflatables and,
Oh, it's on
Yeah,
inflatables,
yeah.
okay.
so what are you saying up
Could you
here
not-
at Main?
They set up at Harold Gunn is where they set up and then go down Second. We can close it at Matthewson.
I mean, I don't,
That's a pretty good long little
That's
run.
long.
That is
That's-
a long run down
You
there.
know, I don't know how far they wanted to go, but
You got the food trucks there, you got
close
the
it there, then they
inflatables
can
there.
go as far as they
They're gonna
want
do a little
to.
train, just kinda, I guess, go through.
They can do it
Yeah.
from Main
Not very
to,
far,
Main
but
to
I think if
Sycamore.
you shut it down,
Yeah, could we do Main from do it from Main to Sycamore then?
For the wiggle
Second.
train,
For the
From Main
Main
Street
from
down to
Second,
Second, yeah.
yeah, down to Sycamore and back for the
rather
wiggle
than
train.
doing Third Street.
Third
Yeah,
Street just has
I
some
just-
safety concerns to me, yeah.
Okay, so you're saying Main,
could we do Main to
Down to
Sycamore on
Sycamore.
Second
For the wheel
for the
train.
wiggle train?
okay.
I love it when you talk that way.
And I get kind of what they're wanting, you know, with the food trucks there, the North Pole there with the inflatables and having the wiggle train right there by it. And
Well,
once it-
that's the thing, the parents, because the wiggle train is for the kids.
Yes,
So it's like sometimes they have kids doing inflatables and the wiggle train, so that was the big thing, I think, was just,
No, I mean, I understand.
well, and I was just gonna kind of throw out there's 3 food trucks on one city block. There might still be room right there by the inflatables, just on the other side of them.
yeah, I don't know, this.
I don't either.
I think the Main and Second down to City.
You
I
give
think
her
this
that
is the best
option.
one here.
A good, you got plenty of room and it's a pretty
Yeah.
good stretch of
Yeah.
road to do.
Cause this just,
I share your concerns about the traffic.
Yeah, and like,
Nowhere more.
stopped, like after we spoke about it, and I just didn't like the safety issue being a visitor road. It's not very listens and pays attention to signs and
no.
barricades.
Well, I didn't pay attention, I was just on my phone.
Okay, so we just want to make a
What's the
motion,
Everything else is good, just,
okay.
I'm gonna have to
Motion
follow
to
with
approve the
Brandon.
map with the new change? Is that
Yes.
how you want to say it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion for the street closures with the new closure from Main to Sycamore and not closing North Third.
second that motion.
I got a motion and second. All in favor of that motion and second signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign, ayes have it. Moving on, approval of conflict of interest for Kyle Clark. Can you help me with that?
Yep, Stephen brought this up this afternoon. Hang on a minute, let me get my paper. He is wanting to be a volunteer for the fire department, and, he works for, Dayville On-Site Services. So we just wanted to make sure there was no conflict, or actually, he's the owner of that.
Okay.
Can I see that?
Should have it.
I don't have it back, but that's okay.
They do testing on all our fire department stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll have to fill out another one in January.
No. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second that motion.
You all right?
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see
So I got a
it.
motion and second. All in favor of that motion second signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign, ayes have it.
Okay, you want to sign this here?
Okay. Then next on the agenda is approval of the codification.
Yeah, so we have been working on this for several, I'd say probably years. The last one I think was 2018. So the codification will be up to the end of 2024. And the price that they quoted us was between $6,500 and $7,800 with a folio view, a version, so that we could put it up on the internet, adding like between $475 and $650. So it's something we've definitely been into. They'll be able to look at it through the website, all the ordinances. So it's something we've been working on for a long time, going back and forth. So I think we're ready to get this approved. And then once everything's approved, he said it'd be about 3 months before we have everything ready to go. So
Can we approve both these in one motion?
I would
Okay.
just say, not to exceed 7,800 and
8,400.
650.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Not to exceed the 7,800 and the
And the
650.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the quote not to exceed $7,800 for the professional editing service and $650 for the folio views version.
A second.
Got a motion and second. All in favor of that motion and second signify by saying aye.
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 Get it done.
Opposed, same sign, ayes have it. I know that's a big deal, they've worked on it, so glad to see it moving forward. Next on the agenda, I think taps, unless you got somebody, Jeff, do you have anything? You're healthy, so that's the reason I was asking, so. In front of me, I've got, there was a request for a sewer tap. I think the water and sewer both came in at the same time, but 5-star property. Date of installation 707 South Fifth Street. I think this is a duplex at one time. It was a house. And I think it's going back to a duplex right now, so. residential, multi.
This is for the sewer one.
Yeah, I've got for sewer service here.
Make a motion to approve.
Second that motion.
I got a motion and second. All in favor of that motion and second signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. And then we'll do the water here in a second. I'm signing this and I'll pass it along to Chuck. Again, the same address, 707 South Fifth Street, residential, multi. So your pleasure.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and second. All in favor of that motion and second signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Next, I have in front of me clerical adjustments. It's your pleasure.
Make a motion to approve all properly documented clerical adjustments.
Second that motion.
I got a motion and second to approve all properly documented clerical adjustments. All in favor of that motion, second signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Then we've got adjustments here. Lisa Higgins at 219 North 8th Street. It's marked as equipment failure. Cheyenne handed me these earlier, so I know that they've reviewed these, so.
Make a motion to approve.
Second that motion.
Got a motion and second to approve. All in favor of that motion, second to approve, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it here, and that was for $260.49. Jason Harder, 621 West Sycamore Street. Water leak, pop-off valve went bad, and it was piped underneath the floor of the house. 20939.
Make a motion to approve.
Second that motion.
Got a motion and second. All in favor of that motion and second signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. They
Did
get-
they include the photos or?
They got material receipt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here you go, Chuck.
Supporting documents.
I think that's all I've got here, other
Or
than,
photos or plumber affidavits.
the next order of business would be approval of Board of Works claims, so.
Make a motion to approve all properly documented claims.
I'll second that motion.
Got a motion and second to approve all properly and documented, Board of Works claims. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Next, anything else come before the Board of Works?
Just glad to be here.
Glad we're here. Yeah.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I got a motion and second to adjourn. All in favor of that motion, second to adjourn, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Thank you for your work, lady and gentlemen.
$1.5 million.
Gentlemen.
I know. I feel great.